Welcome to Guardianity Squad, and today we'll be talking about something that Wizards has done that I do not think is truthfully very good for its players. So, I've been listening to this debate about whether we should have The Walking Dead Secret Lair be for Commander and for Legacy. Because Wizards dropped a new Secret Lair, and it was themed The Walking Dead. And basically, it posts brand new cards, very unique, and it's supposed to be legal for all formats. Now, I see this as a cash grab from Wizards, and being a long-time supporter of Wizards, it's got me into Commander. I've had very good relationships in Commander. People have met their wives and husbands in Commander, and also in Magic the Gathering in general. We got people who love playing MTG and have been playing MTG Arena for the first time, so that's their first experiences to Magic the Gathering. But there's also the problem with this is a one-time thing, and it's not a reskin like Secret Lairs are supposed to be. Quote, Secret Lair is supposed to be reskinned versions of old cards. That was from Wizards when they announced Secret Lairs for the first time. So here's the problem with this. They've already backstabbed us by telling us, oh, Secret Lairs is supposed to be just reskins. Reskins of your card. And I think reskins of your card is fine. I mean, if you want a Spirit Dragon that looks like Durat, go ahead. If you... Not a Spirit Dragon, but the Spirit Dragon, never mind. Look like Durat? Make it look like Durat. I don't care. At least it's still that card. If you want, I don't know, say, Rudek Thar to be an axe-wielding maniac who's running through the streets of Star Wars, go ahead and do that. I don't care. If you want Sisay to be literally woman of power, go ahead and do that. At least the texts are the same. But when you start adding reprints to a limited time exclusion, and then you can't print them again because of IEP law, if anybody knows what IEP law is, IEP law basically states that, okay, Wizards, you wanted to use our IEP, you cannot use it to repack into any packages at all. You can only use this IEP for this thing. So, if they were to do this, what would have been a better way to do this? So, if they kept doing this, like a Secret Lair, let's go with Star Wars, for example. What would have been a better way to rebrand it? And I think this is very important. Mitch and the Tolarian Academy have both stated that they would like these as like silver bordered cards. They're illegal in Commander, they're illegal in Vintage, but yet they can still be fun, and a lot of people will still be playing them with their cubes and stuff like that. There's also where you would, if I remember right, you would print off the card beforehand and then do the reskin, like they did previously. That would have been a better thing to do. Or like when they did for Ikoria, when they had Sprite Dragon be Dorat, the perfect pet. Or let's go with, off the top of my head, Nethrol being that big black, I don't remember it, big black beast with a light in its belly. Good. Do that. I'm not a fan of it, but it's fine. It makes sense. But when you bring out these unique commanders that have literally a week of time before you can, and if you give them a week of time to get these, and then it's gone. And let's say some of these are very powerful cards in Vintage and Commander. Well, now you can't even get your hands on them. And if you could get your hands on them, they're going to cost over 3,000 times the interest than when it did when the Secret Lair dropped. So you're going to have a lot of players mad and upset that they don't get to play these cards at all. And Wizards saying that, oh, if y'all buy this, we'll probably put it into another set. That's just a reason why we should not buy these. Because Wizards right now is testing the waters. They're seeing what they can get away with. Would you like it? The next set they come out with, let's go with Vattenfall, the Viking set. They're like, oh yeah, you could only get these characters from Frozen if you buy it. And guess what? Those cards will be appearing later on. But I want to suggest a third option that Wizards could have done. This is what I see Wizards could have done. Okay? The Commander decks. This is the year of Commander, correct? So why not do this? Instead of selling them off individually for like Secret Lairs, instead what you do is you make them into Commander sets. So like you got, your Glen deck that's all about just gathering up supplies and changing up the arts on the cards. Making it a little bit more expensive, like maybe $80 for the pack because you still have to pay brand new artists to paint all these cards and stuff like that. But it's worth it, and it can still be deemed playable. It's just like the Commander sets previously, where you could play Zedru the Great-Hearted, Numat the Devastator, Ruhan. You could play these sets and change out the commanders. I think that would have been a great idea. Instead of releasing it as a Secret Lair, having gone, okay, we got this Walking Dead IEP. You know what? For this next set that we're building, for like these Ikoria commanders coming out at the same time Ikoria was, why don't you do this? Release the IEP as a commander deck. So that way you can have commander decks of, Glenn, and I don't really know the other characters of The Walking Dead, but Daryl and Negan. It would have been fun. Have it linked to their personality. The personality of the character in The Walking Dead. It would have been fun. And it would help people who love The Walking Dead actually join Magic the Gathering and enjoy the experience of Magic the Gathering. Now, I'll list some problems of why I think this was a horrible idea from Wizards. In fact, there's 5. Number 1, this game is rated 13 and up. Okay? Would you trust your 13-year-old to watch Negan bashing in Glenn's head, which happened in The Walking Dead? Would you do that? If you do, well, those are my parents. But I do know a lot of parents who would say no. They would never do that. In fact, a lot of people got very scared of that scene. And here we are giving it to 13-year-olds and up. 13-year-olds who are still kids. See the problem here? I'm going to be a teacher in middle school. Would I show them something that gruesome? No. I would never show a 13-year-old something that gruesome. Ever. No matter what. Number 2. Wizards have now lied to us. They said in the past that this secret lair was supposed to be reprints of old cards with new arts. And that was fine. If you missed out on the drop, that was fine. You at least got the old cards to play with. But now, with this new secret lair drop and this IEP, you have not only can you can only get this in a certain amount of time, but the card's not even out. Which means if you wanted to play with this type of card, too bad. Hope it doesn't affect the Commander format. And that's really sad. Because a lot of people, see these cards and go, well, these cards in the Secret Lair drop and go, well, I can't pay for it. Well, at least I got these old cards to play with. Like I do. I don't have enough time or money to actually pay for these Secret Lair drops. So I get the old cards. But here's the problem with that. And it gets to my third reason. And I already talked about this a little bit. It is basically Wizards testing the water. Wizards right now is testing the water because right now, in this time, it's a crisis. The COVID and everything else. The Black Lives Matter, everything. Where people are burning down buildings, people are burning down businesses, people are hitting people, destroying homes. And so I would understand why Wizards made this move. But again, it demoralizes Magic the Gathering players. If you even look at Standard, for example, Nexus of Fate, Uro, Lotus Cobra. Does this seem like a Standard that sounds like, oh, you can create any deck in the world, and it could be any deck in the world? No, it doesn't. I mean, let's look at Last Standard. What was the number one thing that killed Last Standard? Actually, there was a couple. It was called Fairy Time Raveler, Wilderness Reclamation, Growth Spiral, and Fires of Invention. You don't see a problem here? You're basically not even letting new players in because you're too busy pressuring them. And Wizards has been going on this constant cycle of greedy cash grabs. And that's a big problem. It used to be where Magic the Gathering, you could grab just a deck of cards out from the local game store. Get a buddy who hasn't played in a while or hasn't played at all and introduce them or reintroduce them to a game that they love and that you love. And y'all would have fun times, but not anymore. And that's the problem. Number 4. Here's the biggest problem, and I'm looking towards the future, because I know these are going to sell very well. I mean, think about it. we're talking about new commanders that probably have really good mechanics to them. They're going to sell. So, what's going to happen when the next cycle comes? Here we go. Secret Lair. Star Wars. You can only get Darth Vader in this limited window. And guess what? Darth Vader is a good-ass card. And by the way, because of IEPs, we cannot sell it or repackage it ever again. Does that seem right? And think about this for just a second. It is basically legal, which means if it's legal in Legacy, guess what that means? Let's say if that's a game-breaking card, Darth Vader is a game-breaking card, we're going to have problems at the wazoo because guess what? You've turned a Secret Lair probably, let's say 5 cards. Let's say the Secret Lair costs around, last time I checked, $250. Okay, 5 cards, $250, that's $50 a piece. You turned a $50 card into $300. Basically not even making it accessible to the people who can't, who don't have the money to do it, or just couldn't, because of other things in their life, couldn't get the Secret Lair drop. Does that sound fair? Does that sound like Wizards? Does that sound like the player having a good experience? Sorry, I had to miss my friend's wedding because guess what? A Secret Lair dropped. Sorry, I had to miss that board meeting. That board meeting that was going to give me a promotion because the Secret Lair dropped. Or, sorry, I had a death in the family. And we had to figure out all this arrangements when the Secret Lair dropped. And we weren't able to get it. Does that seem fun? And fifth, the most important thing right now. And we can see this through Standard, through Commander, through these Secret Lair drops that we just got from The Walking Dead. Wizards is no longer worried about us as players having a good time like they were in the past. Let's look at some facts. I'm going to point this out again. Nexus of Fate. Okay? If they were worried about players having a good time, what about the new players who just joined in? Keep in mind, this is about the gathering. It is not about a single player combat. So, another thing. Uro. Uro is freaking broken in Standard. And they banned them. Banned him. But yet it's okay to release cards that are not fit for the age group that they're going for. Are stealing money from people, basically. Who are telling people, well, if you don't get these soon, you're going to have to pay a crap load of money. And it could have been the one card that you needed to make your deck work. You see the problem here? And that's why I said something. Because I'm going to link both Tolarian Academy and Commander Quarters video on this in the description. Because this topic is very important to both me and almost every content creator in Magic the Gathering. We use this card game to have fun, to meet people, to find the ones we're in love with, to build our beauties, to laugh at some stupid decks that we've created, to remember the good times, to get over losses, to get past horrible memories, to have fun, to have good memories with game stores, with your local game stores. And right now, Wizards is just pissing over everyone's face with this. They're saying, you know, that memories, those moments that you've had of friends joining together, of, being able to play on the same playing field as competitive people, as having fun with your friends, finding your lover, being the gathering, being a part of that. We don't like that anymore. We're here for the money. And that's what I'm hearing Wizards say with this Secret Lair drop. So, I guarantee it will sell. But the problem is, we're getting to an age where Wizards don't care about their players anymore. And that we need to, as players, take back the fort. And I don't mean riot. I don't mean just yelling at them on a blog. I don't mean going up to the local people and caning them. What I mean is, together, we need to take the initiative. If you love Wizards like I do, if this keeps happening, we are going to have to abandon Magic the Gathering. And I do mean that. Because this is unacceptable. This is not what Wizards stands for. This is not what us as players in the community stand for. So today was just a real talk about the Secret Lair and what it could have for the future. Because I don't know about you guys out there listening to me, but I grew up playing Magic the Gathering. I started when I was 11 with the Liliana and the Garruk battle decks. And every year for my birthday, I got a new commander deck or a new dual deck to have fun with. Or even a booster pack. And it was fun. I loved the first commander deck I got. I loved my goat mama, Zedru. And I talk about her extensively sometimes on different videos. I love my goat mama. And I have memories of sitting down with my brother and battling it out and having the time of our lives. Just last summer, we built some goofy ass decks. Hack those vehicles. Brother loved that one. Korvold the fat butt, where he would just eat everything of your opponents. Goat Mama, where She doesn't care what she gives you. Everything is good. And of course, my favorite deck, the one I talk about almost constantly, Keranos and Tiro. I have good memories with that deck. That deck was given to me by my great-grandfather, who bought it for me for my birthday when I turned 21. He's dead now. And I've had fun retweaking the deck, making it something funnier. I've had really good fun. I have a personal connection to this deck I've built. But Wizards don't care about that. Wizards don't care about Tolarian Academy, the professor, saying that Wizards of the Gathering saved his life twice. Wizards don't care about that. Wizards don't care about people who have vastly told the commander, how you say it, like the commander leaders, to ban these cards. Wizards does not listen. They had numerous times to fix Nexus of Fate, to ban Nexus of Fate, and what did they do? They sat around on their butts and did nothing for over till literally before it rotated. They banned it. Same thing with Teferi and Wilderness Reclamation. See, here's the problem. Wizards is literally taking all of our memories, all of our good memories, all our bad memories. I remember where I had a fight with one of my friends over how to build Emry. And guess what? We spent the next 3 weeks building Emry to be the most funniest self-mill deck that we could ever hope for. But now, since Wizards is literally pissing on our dreams, our fun, our gathering, and telling everyone, hey, guess what? People who can't afford this, or people who are too busy to get this secret lair, guess what? You have a limited window. Have fun. Thank you for listening. Adios, and see you next time. Bye.